Hi, and welcome to the next episode of Optimising RPG. Now today we're going to go through the second score point in Trial Tower. This score point is called Vampire Defeated. And we're going to start a new game because if you remember from the end of the previous episode, although we did defeat the boss and we had 12 HP left over, it wasn't good enough to continue and we were basically stuck where we were. So we want to do all this again, but with a little bit more health come out of it than last time. Now the beginning is exactly the same as before, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. We've previously analysed all of this, so there's nothing new here. So again, just getting the sword and shield as quickly as possible. There we go. And a couple of attack gems over the other side as well. Whoops. I forgot the green key. Alright, so we've just got up, we've gathered all of the most obvious things that we want to do first, so we're just going to make a quick save for that. And now we need to start making some actual different decisions. So last time we killed this thief here to collect the yellow key. We're actually in no rush to collect this yellow key this time, so we can ignore him and that will save us about 45 hit points over last time. Killing this guy here, I mean, he's going to cost us at least 45. Say we go for him straight away, it's going to cost us 45 health and we pick up 1 defense. Now the final boss here, last time he ended up hitting us 49 times, so we actually make a profit by killing this thief here. So there's no health savings to be made at this bit. We do want to pick up the defense unless it turns out that we I was going to say unless it turns out we absolutely can't afford to lose the health, but we actually save health by going for him at the point where we end up with not enough health. You know, we're actually better if we pick this up. So we are going to kill this guy. The same reasoning applies last time, that we want to open the door to save 15 HP, but unlike last time where we killed this thief over here, this time we are just going to go for this one because we do want to kill him anyway. The attack that we gain is definitely reduces the boss by a very significant amount of damage, so 2 attack is quite a lot that we save. It's definitely more than it costs, so this is similar. Now, while we have done this, we have only ended up saving somewhere in the vicinity of around 45 health. That's not actually very much, and we will end up finding that still isn't enough health to carry on further, so we do need to pick up more health from somewhere. But what health do we have left? We did pick this up last time, and we are going to pick this health up as well, same as last time. And from here we just don't have any health left anymore, so we've got this one that we can open. It's going to cost us a yellow key and it only gives us 65 health, which when you think about it, a yellow key for 65 health is a really, really poor trade. You know, that's worth 400 to get 65 back. However, we do need the health. We can't continue without it, so we might actually be forced to make this. Another choice that we have down here is a green key. We do get hit at least twice by this guy here. We get 65 health and we also get 2 defense gems. Now, last time we assessed that this was a really bad trade in terms of score, because we weren't getting hit enough times to make the defense worthwhile. So the question we want to ask ourselves here is, do we want to open this door for 65 health, or do we want to open this door for 65 health and 2 defense gems? Now, this is actually worse for score in the short term, because the green key is worth about twice as much as the yellow key, and we're only gaining 6 extra score, and also we're losing some extra health from this guy. So actually we're not even gaining that much health. We are losing about 30 roughly. Yes, we're losing 28 hits from health from 2 hits, so it's actually really, really low on health. Also, the utility of keeping a spare green key is probably going to be higher than having a spare yellow, given how many yellows we have, and given that green keys are rarer. So for that reason, we will actually be taking this health here. We are opening this yellow door for 65 health, and this is optimal because we have to do it. Basically, so in the end, will it turn out that the green key is really useful for us? Well, actually it will. As you will see later, that green key and keeping one to the next level is extremely useful for us. Just like last time, we have no reason to kill this guy. 10 health for 2 Greckles, so we're just going to leave him. And we're going to pick these up here. Now that helps us leave the boss this time with 100 health instead of 12. That's a lot better for what we're going to need to do in the second level. So let's move on. So why did we need the health? Well, this door here is a green door if we leave it any later. This is really nice stuff behind here. A yellow key, 300 health. We can get it without having to spend a green. If we wait until later, like we cross here and this closes, 300 health in a yellow key is not as much score as a green key is worth. So we will never end up picking this up. But getting this without spending a green key is a massive score boost. And also the health is really useful to get right now, so by having this much health spare, and there you go, see, we can survive it now. I think if we'd taken the green key we would just barely survive this. Yes, because we would have taken about 28 damage from the thief, and we would have lost slightly less health from the hot tiles, so we would have survived, but very, very low. So there we are. See, we've managed to get this cache without spending a green key. Now, do we want to kill the thief, or do we want to block our way to this empty sword slot? So if you're not aware in DROD RPG, if you don't have a sword equipped, you don't drop trapdoor tiles. In this next room, we have this big trapdoor field, and to cross any further in the level, we must either open this door and open this to open these, or we must drop all of these trapdoors, blocking our way to these goodies here, and also essentially never being able to come back, because all of this is now pit, and we can't go this way because that platform opens that door. So in addition to that, we were probably going to open this door because we want a way back here at some point. There is a blue key and all this health to pick up, so this seems quite nice. I mean, even so, 400 health, it would be a score even trade. If we can get this guy down to 0 damage, it's score neutral to open this door, and it gives us a way back. In addition to that, if we haven't dropped our sword, when we cross over here to pick up one of these goodies, or this defense gem, we can't come back without opening this green door. Opening a green door for 2 attack is still a pretty bad score trade. That's worth 10 score and that's 20. So if we can avoid having to open this green door, we do save on score, so not dropping these trapdoors is really useful for us. It's really going to pay off, and it's definitely going to pay off more than 26 health. So we are happy to spend this 26 health to not drop these trapdoors. Given that we have access, I am just going to not open these. Okay, sorry, we could come back, but actually without opening this, we can never pick up this green key, so opening this yellow door is also useful for that. We could still backtrap if we drop these, but we are missing out on 20 score for the green key, so it's definitely a good idea to do that. Topaz statue, 300 damage for 2 defense. I'm sure we can do a lot better than that later, so we will leave him for now. These guys are hitting us really hard at the moment. 24 hits. We have just barely broken past their defense. So if we can pick up more attack, we're going to make massive savings. We would like the sword as soon as possible, but I'm sure we can find a way to make all of this a lot better before we pick this sword up. Let's keep exploring. This room has a brain monster. This means all of the monsters in the room hit us for twice as much. Look at these massive values here. Thousands, over 1,000 hit points for each monster. And we can't even hit the relay without picking up that sword. So clearly there's nothing for us to do in here now. We don't need this key, and we might have lower health at some point. So there is no reason at the moment to pick this key up just yet. Now this room, we have something that you don't see very often, but in Trial Tower here we have a moving monster, a bit like DROD. These sorts of puzzles and manipulating moving monsters in RPG, it can be a little bit annoying sometimes because we do have to keep replaying the same moves over and over when we are retrying score points. So even though this is one of my favourite holds, I'm not the biggest fan of these, but with playing around you can dodge this guy quite a lot. Regular DROD skills do come in useful here. So what are we seeing in this room? Here's a shield. It's hiding behind a topaz statue for 340 health and a yellow door. However, we have a pressure plate here that if something is standing on it, we can get past this door for free. And if something is holding this one down, we can actually skip past the topaz statue. So there is almost, a yellow key and 343 savings. We haven't even got enough health. We would have to open this door to pick up more health as well. That's score neutral, if we wish to go that route. If we open this green door, we can get this monster to stand on these and help us bypass both of these obstacles, so we almost completely immediately make back this score. However, you can't see because he's standing on it, but there is also this large health worth 400 HP, so it's very profitable for us to open this because this means that it's actually score positive. Now, because we've kept that green key from the previous level, we can open this door straight away without first either having to... Well, we couldn't kill this zombie man. What we would have to do is drop all of these trapdoors and lock our way out of this just to get this green key. We wouldn't be able, basically, to open this door had we not left those 2 defense behind on the first level. So it's actually been extremely beneficial for us to not open that green door. Hold on, we're just going to reorient his sword. We're going to open this door and we're going to let him follow us in. Now we want him to go up this path. If we go all the way up here, we can actually lock him in to here, but we do also lock our access to collecting this health. So ideally, if we can get away with it, we don't really want to press this pressure plate, and it turns out you can by making this move. So this monster, he sort of acts a bit, he looks a bit like a guard the way he points his sword at you, but he always tries to point his sword in the direction he's about to move, and he does tend to move like a roach, so it's a very weird movement that you actually don't see in regular DROD, this monster. It's actually quite unusual, the moves that you can make, but it means you can manipulate him very, very easily. And there we go, we've just collected the bronze shield, giving us 20 defense. It has actually made this topaz statue give us no damage at all, so we can just now kill him. We are going to need the Greckles soon, so getting a free kill for 20 Greckles is very nice here. If we wait for him to move off the pressure plate, he actually lets us collect this attack gem, which I think you may... Is there a pressure plate that would open it? There is not. So that's the only way to gain this attack. And because he's facing the wrong way, we have just enough time for him to free us from here as well. Now we do want to go over here, but unfortunately this monster is in the way, so we're just going to need to do a little bit of manipulation here to move him out of the way, because we would really like this attack. In terms of opening this door, every defense point is worth 3 score, and so this double defense gem is worth 6 points. Now the yellow key that we would have to spend is worth 10 points, leaving us with a 4-point deficit, which is equivalent to 160 HP. So if we think we're going to get hit 80 times and we can spare the yellow key, we will break even on this trade. In terms of how often we are going to get hit, these zombie monsters hit us, they're going to hit us for at least 10 times each, but every other monster in this level is going to barely hit us at all, so actually we're not going to be getting hit 80 times. I mean, the last boss isn't going to actually hit us that much in the end, as you will see. So as a result, this is not a score positive trade for this score point. If we're going later on in the hold, it might be, but there's just not enough hits that we are going to take here to justify picking up that defense gem. Now we don't need to collect this health just yet, and in fact these assassins are dealing very low damage each, 7 per hit, so we can probably come back and collect this a little bit later when it is a bit cheaper. We can't actually collect this health without getting hit at least once by this monster. Of course, if we can kill him for free, then that's even better, but so we are not going to collect it right now. Now, because we want to come back into the room, if we do this manipulation here, he will end the room at this spot, and we can actually get past him when we return without being hit. So, you know, just doing that move. So we haven't actually been blocked in yet, and we've not had to lock him in, so we can return to collect this later. So we shall leave him as is. And our next main goal is going to be this sword, but just before we do, we know we have enough defense that he can't deal any damage, so by dropping our sword we can just quickly pick up 2 defense at basically no cost. So what do we want to do here to get this sword? So there's a couple of ways we can go, but this route here is the only way to pick up this attack gem, because if you kill 2 monsters on the way to here, the Briar will destroy the attack gem. Now crossing this does block our way to the defense gem, but the attack gem is worth 2 attack is 10 score, it's worth an extra 4 score than the defense gem, and we've just done the calculation saying, you know, we're not going to be get hit enough times. Also, the attack is really useful for destroying the damage dealt by the zombies, because we get a lot of attacks reduced, so we definitely want the attack. And this guy doesn't even hurt us when we stand on his sword, so we're going to take this path. We do have to kill this zombie, and there was actually no stat gems available except this one that we've determined wasn't worth it. So we're just going to kill this guy because it's not going to get any cheaper. And we're going to collect this attack gem. The pressure plate that this sword is on will close this defense gem off to a yellow door, so we'd need to spend a yellow key if we want it. We are taking 220 damage from the zombies, but this is worth the equivalent of 6 score, which is 240 health. So we actually get a 20 health worth of score profit just by picking this up, and then of course the defense is also going to give us a little bit of improvement later, so we really do want this defense. But because we really want the sword as soon as possible, we're going to have to collect it now. So here we go. Now you may have noticed if we fight this guy, we're actually going to die, so we need a bit more health. This one here locks a grackle gate. Ideally, if we can avoid that. We've got plenty of money, but we don't know yet if actually that's a good idea. We do have a fairly low amount of health right now, so this might be a good time to collect this key. In reality, and I know just because I've played a bit further, we're not going to have health this low ever again at this score point, so now is the perfect time to pick up this key. In addition to that, we will find out that actually spending the 20 greckles just doesn't work out for us in the end. Otherwise, I would probably take this. We would end up with slightly lower health, and we would actually make a slight 1 or 2 hit point savings on the hot tile, but only by playing ahead do I know that that's not really worth it. The greckles actually are valuable here, and they're more valuable than about the 2 health that we would save. Whoops. Sorry, of course I've made that decision, but I haven't actually picked up any health yet, so we can't do that. Well, there's some health here that we can pick up. We will end up getting hit once by the assassin to pick it up. I can show you how to do that, in fact. Here, we need to rotate our sword. So how you collect the health getting hit once is if you come down here and then you wait in place. He does rotate his sword, which wastes a turn and allows us to come back, and there you go, he hits us there. But we have taken 5 damage by doing that, and as we're optimizing, we want to avoid as much damage as we can. So the only other health that we're left with, we've discounted all the rest. There was none worth going for on the previous floor, so the only health is this. This is a score neutral trade, and in this score point we don't really care about the key. So because it doesn't cost us any points to make that trade, we're going to make that one and essentially save 5 hit points by not going for the other health cache. Going for a further score point, one that's further away, we may not wish to make this trade because having the key is more useful, but in this score point we don't need the key, so we are going to collect that health. And that lets us collect this defense gem, which was blocking our way to this sword. We don't need this wooden sword for this score point, so it's okay to lock it off and just kill that thief. And there is health here that we can collect, but there are still hot tiles available, so we don't want to collect this health just yet until we know we need it. You may have noticed there's a lucky greckle in this room that doubles our money. In order to get it here, we would have to open a yellow door and then kill these monsters. We do need to kill this guy here. Opening these greckle gates cost us no score, but opening the yellow door is like 10 score loss, so we clearly want to go this way. It's not worth... In fact, as soon as we do that, we do lock the greckle gate behind a green door, and we're going to need to spend a blue key essentially to pick it up, or a yellow key and a green key. Spending about 30 score to get the lucky Greckle is not great. We can reclaim the key by killing the Warlock. So, you know, there is health. It is ever so slightly potentially score positive, but it's not really worth it in reality. You know, we are going to also be taking... We need to go back to low health. Like, what's the lucky Greckle doing for us? And the answer is nothing really. So we are not going to be bothered going for that. We don't need that much money. So I just wanted to explain that, why we're not bothering. What's up here? More gems for money. That's nice. We would really like this one here, but we are just about to soon need to start collecting a little bit. We do need to spend more money here, sorry, pretty soon. However, we haven't gone back after picking up our new equipment to the previous floor to see if there's anything better we can do. This is usually something that you want to do when you collect more equipment. Just see if there's anything that is a lot cheaper that you left behind. And in fact, all of these monsters are now free, so we can spend 10 and re-earn the money and also get a bunch more cash by going back here. So by coming back, we've spent nothing, and we have ended up about 30 Greckles higher and a yellow key. So now that we have that extra money, we can also get that defense gem. So these are some of the last main uses for money in this hold. And by killing this zombie, which we have to do, we get the remaining money that we need to open these gates. There's no way to collect more stats to make him cheaper. We're locked off from this one permanently. We've decided we don't want this one. And we decided we didn't want this one. And he's only hitting us 3 times now, you know, and the attack's not going to matter, so we're just going to go ahead and kill him. Do we collect this now and use the health savings from the defense to kill this guy, 1 hit, 2 health, or do we kill him first and then come back and collect the defense gem? Now normally it's you know, the amount of damage you're taking here will actually save you more on the hot tiles because our health will be lower. But by going this way, we do actually lock a Greckle gate in the way. But we do also have quite enough spare Greckles that actually, now that we're not going any further and don't really need any more, closing the Greckle gate is absolutely fine. Bear in mind that doing this has essentially saved us about 2 hit points. We did quibble earlier about saving 2 hit points by opening this door, but we actually needed the money. We couldn't have spared the money before this point because we would have got stuck here without having enough money to pass this point. But now that we've passed this point, we don't really care about money anymore, so it's fine to instead spend extra money here to save 2 hit points. There you go, it's technically optimal to do so. Assassins no longer deal any damage at all, which is great, so we can kill the assassin over here and pick up the health. We're picking up the health because there are no more hot tiles that we wish to cross now that we've crossed these, so we can just go ahead and pick up all of the remaining health. We've determined there's no more stats, so this guy here isn't going to be dealing any more damage. We can collect this health too. We can gather this green key. And this assassin here also does no damage anymore. And at this point, I believe we have actually collected everything. Is this worth it? Opening a blue key, getting that, 300 health, 400 health. You know, this actually might be worth it. It's not, because we take a lot of damage. I'm probably going to have to record this now, because actually I think that is optimal, isn't it? No, sorry. I had a panic there that actually I wasn't showing you something optimal, but one of the problems that we have here is that in order to get down here, we have to have 300 health after crossing these hot tiles to still kill the warlock. And in doing so, we need to lose more than 100 health crossing these hot tiles. So actually we do lose score picking this up, because we don't end up reclaiming the health that we spend to kill this warlock. The warlock needs to get cheaper before this trade will work, and we're not getting any more attack at this score point. So no, we don't open this yet. There's a little puzzle here, but this guy, he doesn't deal any damage to us anymore, so whatever. He needs to stand on that plate. And then, by showing him into here, we can get this key. And if we just stand here, we can kill him for extra greckles. And we can use those extra greckles to just waste cash here to pick up 30 more hit points. And at this point now, we have basically picked up everything in the level that we possibly can, and it's just the boss left, who is dealing 192 damage. And there we go. We were 2 hit points above the threshold for the next score point, so where we were quibbling over that 2 hit points wouldn't have mattered, but when we chose to not take 5 damage and open that yellow door for 400 health instead of take a hit from the assassin, that actually earned us a point in the end, so we ended up with this score boost, getting just a little bit more than normal. So sometimes your health ends up so close to a threshold that actually micro optimizations do really help. Whoops. Anyway, that's it for this score point, but what we're going to do is we're just going to take a quick peek into the next level just to get some idea of what we might need next time. Now, the first thing you'll notice when looking at this level is money gate, lots of money gates, lots more money gates. This floor really likes its money gates. There are quite a lot of them around. Money gates all over the place. Money gates, look, lots here as well, potentially, if they close. Money gates. So the third floor really wants you to have a lot of money. There are some changes that we can make to get lots more money. So in the next episode, we're going to move on to the third score point, and we're going to start again from the beginning, all over again for the third time. So please join me then. Thank you and goodbye.